And that's something I think that each individual has to see, like that maybe choosing your work with your sibling, it might hinder your growth or your, you know, your business acumen. Granted, I think we were in what, and you know, we grew our skills though, because I think at the beginning we were both lacking in everything.
Yep. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Driven. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing how it's like working with your siblings. I know for the people that don't know us, we have a business together in the e-commerce automotive industry field, working with films, right?
Yeah.
But I know prior to this, we started multiple business. Oh, we didn't, well, not multiple. I know we started one business, but then we used to kind of work together in like side hustles, maybe sales. And then I know we got into insurance together.
Yep.
Pretty much, it's been like 10 years of working together, of trying to build something. We finally built a company that's doing somewhat good. I would say relatively good.
Yeah.
But I guess my question to you, how has your experience been working with family members? And I say that because I know maybe some people watching, they want to start a business. And the first people that I think anyone would want to ask them if they want to go on business with them is their family, siblings, parents.
I think that the first reason that someone would want to work with their sibling is the fact that, and obviously it depends on the relationship that they have, but it's the trust. Knowing that, you know, you guys trust each other.
That's true.
Now, the one thing, though, that I feel like in a lot of sibling relationships that may not be good is the fact that, how do I say, like, you gonna say something?
Yeah, no, pretty much we could use our experience. I know just from growing up, we were kind of like, we did everything together. And then we joined competitive sports, soccer. And so, like, growing up, there was a lot of competition, especially because we're both, like, this similar age. It's only 2 years apart, and then we're both males. So it's kind of like trying to compete with each other. So at least for me, in that way, it kind of translated over to the business, kind of like that. Those things, trying to one-up each other, trying to jab, trying to just... Yeah.
No, definitely. So that's something that definitely really helped us on that end. But I know that... like when you go into business with your sibling, you kind of are limited to the skills that you guys have with each other.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so for example, like you guys might just suck at at certain things that are required to do the business, and so that's the only drawback, that maybe choosing to work with your sibling, and that's something I think that each individual has to see, like that maybe choosing your work with your sibling, it might hinder your growth or your, you know, your business acumen. Granted, I think we were in what, and you know, we grew our skills though, because I think at the beginning we were both lacking in everything. Yep. And it's just through time that we, you know, acquired the skills, that we got better, we got experience, and that's what really helped grow, you know, our current business. But I know that if you work with your sibling, you're just you're stuck with each other's skills at the beginning, and it might take a little bit longer than, for example, let's say you're good at sales, and the other person, and there's another person that's good at, you know, the operations. You know, that might complement each other. But for example, like us, we're limited to, we pretty much have the same thing, so we have to grow different skills. We have to learn them, and it's gonna take a little bit longer, like it took us over 10 years. So I think that's the only drawback. But the one thing that I feel like it's very hard to come by is trust. And I think it's kind of like what it is that you want. Like, do you want someone that you trust, or you don't want to? And it's not like either or. It's just,
there's no right or wrong. It's 100% up to you, and it's gonna be your decision. No one could tell you to choose one or the other.
No, definitely. But I think for us, I think it was the right choice, because one of the things that I know we emphasize a lot and we continue saying is the fact that we had the same goals. Because even like when I just said that, one of the things that it reminded me of is Quest.
Okay.
Remember with Tom Bilyeu and his other two partners. You know, they grew $1 billion brand. Quest. The thing is that they sold it because they all had different visions of the company. They, you know, and they were doing good, and so it was because they had different visions of the company that they were like, everyone's on good terms, everyone's good, you know, the company is in good standing, so they sold it, and pretty much each person went to go ahead and, you know, do what they wanted. But I think originally they had the same goals. But and in the same way, the fact that we had the same goals, really helped us grow. Because then I know there's other companies where like they differ, and it's hard for them to really take any direction or path.
Yeah, and I think it's good to emphasize that when you say goals, it's the goals of our parents, so the goals of growing the company.
That's it. Yeah. So yeah, pretty much.
Because I know like we can have different goals, and that's what happened kind of in the beginning. Is I know we had different goals for the direction of the business, which is a different than the goals.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And pretty much what it is that you want to accomplish, like in your life. Because I know, for example, there might be someone that. Let's use this as an example. You just want to grow a big company.
Yeah.
And that requires investing, putting money back into the company. But for example, maybe the other individual, like, okay, they have a family, they need support. They need to have profit and income coming in, and that might take a bunch from the business. This is growth. So in that sense, I think we had similar goals. We were in similar stages in life, so that really helped us a lot. But yeah.
Yeah, and then I know also with that there were also other challenges that we faced, because I know one of them is like the trust, which we both had the trust. We still do have the trust. Because I don't think one or the other has done, like you or I have done anything that to like be like, all right, this is kind of like
no.
Yeah, so the trust is there. I know the skills, we're still learning it, which we did have to kind of like just separate like the skill sets of what one person has to do over the other. Which again, I think it was like it was a learning curve. It was a growing process, because I know like if we both have egos, if we didn't just calm our egos down, then I think we would have just been doing different things.
If we would have, or
if we would have kept that our egos, if we would have
like it still had our egos. Okay,
yeah. So, and that's one of the things I know I briefly mentioned it, that maybe in the beginning, with your family member, there's certain things that you guys do that you're gonna bring it on into the business.
And the fact that there's no filter with us, like the fact that for example, if it was like if someone else was here as opposed to me, and then vice versa, I feel like we would be more reserved than maybe mentioning or telling something, or not being so straight up per se, or there's things that probably that we do that bug each other, but then the other person not yet. And so the fact that we were siblings, we were just off and very just like it's something small, like boom,
insignificant. And we noticed it in the beginning too, and I'm pretty sure some of the people that were here early on, they noticed it, because I think we kind of had a lot more like arguments, like discussion. They weren't arguments, but they were more like going back and forth, and it was so very sharp and very like dry and like to the boom boom boom, that people could have seen it like, damn, it's kind of like, damn, these
there was this one incident that it was the case now when I think it was in front of I forgot, you mentioned it to me, and then I realized it later. But there was several instances like that.
And so it's gonna happen, and I think it goes back to like you're gonna have to, if you have egos, you're gonna have to, or pride, better said, if you have pride, because I think we're both prideful. It's like I think everyone has pride, and so it's just setting aside your pride and looking at the bigger picture, looking at if we already have something going for us, we have this business, we could either just go our separate ways and then still have the same goals of retiring our parents, taking care of them, but doing different things, or just continue doing this business. And so I think that's one of the things that it might happen, which probably it's a higher chance of it happening than not happening, which is you're going to have problems. But once you overcome that, because like now, I think it's a lot better, the relationship, the working relationship.
Yeah, it's super, like, it's very fluid. I mean, we've had dialogue. But it's really regarding about the business, really. But it's a lot more for, and that I think it had to come through time and experience, and also like I think that is the main thing.
Time, experience, and then I know maybe it also helped taking or having more people in the business.
More people.
Because it's more responsibilities. It's like now we can't just be selfish and just argue with each other. Now we have to take care, as in like we have to, do what's best for the company, for the people, for everything.
And then on my end, the one thing that it was a factor, I do believe, was the fact and it's like it's reading the How to Win Friends and Influence People. Like I think that's something that did help me quite a bit, actually, because then I actually started more understanding more, like reading it and then actually seeing it in person and feeling it in person. It made it so much more. It improved myself. But yeah, so at least on mine, that's something that did help me too.
Okay, I guess I have a question, and
Yeah.
if you don't have the answer, I mean that's fine. But
Yeah.
like, I guess hypothetical.
Mm-hmm.
So we go into business. Let's just say I was just freaking stubborn. I didn't want to change or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure people face that with, they start a family business, maybe the parents or maybe the sons or maybe the siblings, where like it's just not gonna work out.
Yeah.
Like, how would, I guess, you go about it if that happened between us?
Like assuming that I don't have like the current knowledge and skills, or assuming
Yeah,
that
like
I have it.
because I know like starting a business, like
Okay.
we barely started a business, but then we both wanted different things. Because at least for me, one of the things is like, all right, I would just probably be like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah.
Not like I'm out, but
yeah. So then like with no knowledge or skills, like what would I what would I recommend?
Yeah, because I know a lot of people are facing that. Maybe they have like a business, maybe if it's a service-based business, maybe like a landscaping business. That's very common.
Yeah.
Where like a dad usually has a landscaping business, and then they bring on their sons. There's a lot of conflicts. The son maybe goes to school for like business management, so they think one thing is right, and then the dad, thinks another thing is right. As an example, like scenario based.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess what was the question or the
Yeah, pretty much like, is there any recommendations to like any advice you would give to people if they're working with their family members but it's not working out?
It's not working out. I think with that, if I were just to like just put it like that and give some type of like advice or recommendation, is seeing whether your goals align. Because one of the things that for us, imagine if our goals didn't align, I feel like we would have started something else. Let's say like our parents were in it and it was just we wanted to make extra money.
Yeah.
I do think we probably would have gone in different directions. Especially at our peak when we were, there was a lot of discussion and a lot of, let's say, argument. I feel like maybe it would have been like if we didn't have that same like goal. But the fact that we had the same goal and aspiration to something to accomplish, I think that kind of forced us to actually like work through it and learn a lot, go through that, through all of that, and make it work. And so I would say that, I guess, seeing if your guys' goals align with each other, because if they do, I think you're gonna just have to force yourself to make it work, through experience, through just talking, to drink, like one of the things that has helped me is just not reacting to certain things, and just like letting it simmer for a few for some time, and then talking about it. But for example, if they don't align, if the actually guys do want something different, then I do think maybe going separate might be the right choice, because there's a lot of like family members and family businesses that it does, like they just do their own thing. Not that they're they quit being family members, it's just that they do different things.
Yeah, because one example at a bigger scale is Elon Musk and his brother. I think they started PayPal.
X, yeah.
PayPal at X or PayPal?
No, so X was pretty much well, there was two businesses. The one that Map, their very first I forgot what it was called, Zip2, something like that.
But then that
and then they created a X, but then they merged with another one and then became PayPal with the financial. And then but pretty much up to that point they were
working
both
together.
Yeah. But then like I feel like Elon Musk's aspirations or whatever it is were like just so different than his brothers, because Kimball Musk, because I think he opened a chain of healthy restaurants, but then Elon Musk went into like Tesla, SpaceX, and the other ones he's involved with.
Yeah, and it goes back to like the goals were different, because I'm pretty sure if the goals were the same, if let's build Tesla, or let's build like innovate, let's go to Mars or whatnot, I think they would have both been working together. Yeah, and I think that's one of the things also about working with family. Like once your goals are aligned, once the fluidity of working together, the working relationship is good. Because I think now we found kind of like the rhythm of like, okay, what needs to be done, where we need to be within the company to just make it grow. Yeah. So I think once you have that, I think it just sky's the limit, for like a better word. Because like right now, one of the examples you gave about the two brothers when we used to work in finance.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. I think they were just so very. Well, I don't even know. It's just that.
Because I think maybe they were very prideful, and I think they couldn't get past their pride. Yeah. And because, like honestly, I think if they would have stuck together working in business, they would have taken over like that financial industry. Because both of them respectively, like they have their own skill, like the way they speak, the way they think, the way, you know, they act. They're freaking beast.
Yeah.
But it's just like they separated. One of them started doing I think investments, property, or something like that. The other one is still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like they're doing good in their respective field, but if they would have focused on one thing, I think they would have done a lot better.
No, 100%.
And it's like us. Like right now, like we're still growing. There's a lot of businesses that are trying to compete with us, but we have one goal, one mission, and it's just staying on track. And I don't think, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, so definitely. So I think with that recommendation, like, you know, for family members that are going through it, let's say they're in business together, or, you know, they're thinking about going into business together with a family member, I think it's just seeing if you guys' goals and mission align with each other's. I think it's in the same with, you know, all partnerships, you know, relationships. Yeah. If they align, because if they don't align, I do think that it, like in business, like, you know, when conflicts arise, issues arise, you know, like when it did for us, if our goals weren't aligned, I think we would have done our own thing. So in that sense, is like, if you guys are, I mean, in my opinion, right, this is just an opinion from me and my experience, which is, well, I'm 30 years old, so I don't have much, but, you know, like, from what I see is, if you guys' mission and goals don't align, and you guys are always arguing and bickering, then in my opinion, it's probably best to, you know, do what it is that you go for your goals, I guess, for like a better words. If the goals and mission align, then, you know, just forcing yourself to make it work, you know, through just learning and experience and just learning how to work with each other. Because like imagine, like, if our goals were different, if your goals were different than, you know, my goals, you know, luckily they're the same, and then we always were bickering and arguing. Yep. Then like I see it very hard for that to continue. But the thing is that we had that same thing pushing us and driving us. Yep. They kind of forced us. Yep. But I mean, yeah, that's, well, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I think, at least for me, you know, going based off our experience, how it improved is just maybe, like, if it is going, like, you do have a business with a family member and maybe it's not the best relationship, I think I would say do a week kind of that is just, you know, sit down and then just talk it out. Yeah. 100%. Talk it out, but like talk it out and then see, like, you know, what are your goals? You know, what do you want to do? Like, pretty much create dialogue, create discussions. And then it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to happen little by little. And again, if, you know, the goals don't, like how you mentioned, the goals don't align, it's still happening, the bickering, maybe one person doesn't want to change. Maybe it's just better to go your separate ways.
And then keep that a family relationship, that sibling relationship with each other. Because I think that's more important than, you know, your business relationship. Yep. And so, like, you know, maybe doing your own thing and just keeping that relationship. Because, like, with you know, with the example that you gave earlier, I think, I don't know how it is now, but I think in the beginning pretty much it's just complete just no talking to each other. And it's kind of like, and so, which kind of like sucks, because, like, you know, from the outside point of view, like, obviously we don't know the intricacies of what was going on, but they you know, they had a lot of going for themselves. Yeah. Or they still do, probably. I don't know.
So I would say the first step is just ask for like 30 minutes, an hour. You know, we need to have discussion. We need to have a discussion of, like, the direction of the business. What are our goals? You know, what do we want to do? What can we do within the business? And then just, I guess, keep the relationship.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah. So that, I would say that's the first step too.
No. Yeah. I mean, but do you have anything else? No, that's pretty much it. And I think this just comes from our experience, and it's very limited. Our experience is very limited. So I know there's probably people out there with, you know, more experience that can give more, but that's pretty much just coming from our experience, and, you know, how we went from, like, arguing and, you know,
I think every day, like,
it was every day,
and it was multiple times a day.
Yeah. And so, you know, that you know, that can become a lot. And so that's, you know, learning that and knowing that we have the same goals, you know, kind of forces to make it work through just learning how to, let's say, deal with each other. And so, yeah, but I mean, that's just how we managed it. For others it might be different, but this was our situation. But hopefully that helped. And so, with that being said, do you have anything else to say?
No, I'm good.
No? Okay, so This has been another episode of Driven. My name is Juan.
My name is Alexis.
And we'll see you on the next one.